So here I am in my kitchen and I'm getting ready to do my salads in a jar. And this is something that I do every week so that during the week when things get crazy busy, all I have to do is grab these and some other things that I've prepared for my lunches and dinners, put them in my lunch bag and head out the door. So I've had some people ask about how do I make mine. So this is my typical salad in a jar. I like to use a couple of different kinds of kale, a whole bunch of different ingredients that I'll go through one at a time, a couple of different kinds of lettuce. And the trick is the way you load the jar to keep everything as fresh as possible. You don't want to put your lettuce on the bottom because then it'll get soggy in your salad dressing. So the things that are a little bit tougher, like your cucumbers, your tomatoes, if you use kale because kale's a little bit tougher, you can load those things in the bottom and then they won't get soggy. They'll actually soften up a little bit with your whatever salad dressing you're using, and they'll be a little bit easier to tolerate. So I'm going to get started. In the bottom, I'm going to load, this is some curly kale. Some people call it blue kale. It's the kind that makes chips really well. I've got everything already lined up so that it's just kind of like an assembly line. So here goes in all of my curly kale, just a little bit in the bottom. Now next, I'm going to put in, this is Italian kale. Now these are the smallest leaves from the bunch. Italian kale makes really good kale chips as well, but the smaller leaves are actually good in your salads because they're a little bit more tender. They're also really good if you saute them and serve them over pasta or maybe with some steamed chicken. So in goes the Italian kale. Now next, this kale is a little bit softer. This is, some people call this jack kale. Some people call it rake kale because when it's on its stem, it looks like a rake. And it's quite a bit softer than the other types of kale. So you might want to load this in the top, but this is really fresh. So I just got it at the farmer's market, so it's a little bit tough. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in the bottom. Okay, so there I've got a little bit of kale in all my jars. And these jars, these are mason jars, and then these are some jars that I saved that pickles and olives came in. And these are the perfect size for a lunch salad. So next, I've got some green onions, also from the farmer's market. I'm going to load those in. I like to put my onions and my mushrooms in the bottom because they will soak in the dressing. I use a honey balsamic vinaigrette, homemade, and these will soak up the flavor of that balsamic vinaigrette and just really give a nice flavor to your salad. So there goes our onions. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my mushrooms. I like them to soak up the flavor of that salad dressing. Oops. And it's going to get messy. I've already got stuff on the floor, but that's okay. This is all about getting prepared for the week. All right, next I'm going to go ahead and put in, these are some organic cherry tomatoes that I got at H-E-B. Right now the farmer's market doesn't have any tomatoes. They're not quite ready. Probably in a couple of weeks though, we'll be able to get them. Just a few more. All right, now I'm going to go ahead. Oh, there you go for preparedness. I don't have a knife. All right, left it on the stove. Okay, this is some organic cucumbers. I've seen cucumbers at the farmer's market, but the ones that they have are really, really big, and I prefer the ones that are a little bit smaller because they're a little bit more tender, and you can put more of them in your salads in a jar. The big ones tend to take up quite a bit of space. So I like these little ones just to accommodate the size of my salad jars. And just a few slices of each. And again, this is something that you could load in the bottom because it's okay for these to kind of soak in the balsamic vinaigrette. All right, now for the things that I don't necessarily want to soak in the salad dressing. Love banana peppers. These are the ones that are kind of mild. Now I've seen these at the farmer's market too. They have all sorts. They've got from the hottest habaneros all the way down to the nice mild little salad peppers like these are. And you can put anything in your salad that you want to. I've got some pickled okra, also from the farmer's market. I mean, if there's some of these things that I'm loading into mine that you don't particularly care for, it doesn't matter. You can put whatever you want. But again, you want to think about what things are tough enough, so to speak, to go in the bottom and soak in your salad dressing. You want the one that you eat on Friday, these are capers, to be as fresh as the one that you eat on Monday. And if you load them the right way, I promise you the one that you eat on Friday is going to be just as fresh as the one that you take to work or eat for your dinner on Monday. And see, I'm making extras. I've got 2, 4, 5, I've got 7. A lot of times I'll come home and I'll want to have another salad for dinner, so I've already got some in the refrigerator. Now this is, these are cloves of garlic that I have roasted in olive oil, and I put them again in a little jar and just keep them in the refrigerator. This was a jar of pesto that once the pesto is gone, the jar is perfect for a little bit of roasted garlic. Again, it's all about preparation, getting everything prepared ahead of time so that your week is not crazy and you're still eating healthy even if things do get crazy. Okay, green olives. If you don't like green olives, leave them out. I'm also going to put some Kalamata olives. These are pretty big, so I'm only going to use one. And that's it for that jar. Alright, and here's the Kalamata olives. And you want to try not to get the juice of whatever products you're using, because you're going to have your own healthy salad dressing to put in here, so you want to kind of try to keep it as dry as possible from the other juices that are in your olives and your banana peppers. And sometimes the liquid that's with the banana peppers can be a little bit hot, so you want to be careful with that too. Okay, now a couple other things. These are sunflower seeds, and this is from a company called NatureBox. This is a really neat concept. You pay $19.95 a month and you get a box with 5 all natural healthy snacks, and you can either go on the website and tell them which snacks you want, or you can just be surprised every month. I've been doing it for about a year now, and so I've kind of picked out some favorites. So I've gone online and customized my NatureBox so that every month I get the 2, maybe 3 that I really, really like, and then I let them surprise me with another one. And so far there really hasn't been anything that I absolutely did not like. These are craisins. If you like cranberries, these are the dried ocean spray craisins. These will add a little bit of sweetness and a different texture to your salad. I'm all about the different textures and flavors. If you don't like sunflower seeds, you can use, I usually have pine nuts and I'll roast them. Didn't have any this week, so I dug through my NatureBox snacks and I found some of my sunflower seeds. Alright, now I'm ready to put the stuff in the top that I don't want to get soaked in my salad dressing. The things that I want to be just as fresh on Friday as they are on Monday. So that's going to be my spinach, my lettuce, and my cilantro. So again, this is romaine lettuce that I got at the farmer's market. And don't think that you can't just kind of stuff down. I'm loading these up pretty tight. So you have to kind of stuff everything down in there, and that's okay. If you go to dump it out and it won't come out all the way, just, you know, grab a knife and kind of pull it all out. Now this is arugula, also from the farmer's market. Arugula is a type of kind of a spicy lettuce. It's got kind of a peppery, nutty flavor to it. Load some of that in there. Now I've got some beautiful, look at this spinach. Look how big those leaves are. This is also from the farmer's market. I can't say enough about our Beaumont Farmer's Market. If you've not been there, you really need to go try it out. Every Saturday at the Athletic Complex on College Street, starting at 8 a.m. and running until 11, you'll find just all kinds of stuff right now. There's local honey. There's a goat farmer that makes wonderful goat cheese. In fact, that's one thing that I left out. I bought some feta cheese from him at the market. So we're going to load some goat cheese feta. You'll find Dan the Chicken Man, who has wonderful fresh yard eggs from his free roaming chickens. Look at these chunks of feta cheese. Look at that. Aren't those great? Made out of goat cheese or goat milk, and boy, they smell great. Right now, the vegetables that you'll find at the farmer's market range from all different types of lettuces, greens like mustard greens, collard greens, turnip greens, all the different kinds of kale that you've seen here. Those are all available. The spinach, of course. There's some root vegetables, beets, turnips, Haven't seen any potatoes yet. The farmers have complained that it's been a little bit too wet. Their potatoes have been rotting, so I haven't found any potatoes yet. Let's see, there's some folks out there that have homemade bread, homemade natural soaps. There's just all kinds of stuff. If you leave there empty-handed, then you've done something wrong. So try the farmer's market. You will not be disappointed. Bring cash. The farmers like cash. Excuse me. Snow peas. These are also from the farmer's market. These are really good. They're nice and tender. You don't have to peel them or do anything like that. You might want to break the stems off the end. That's the only thing. I think one of my dogs found a mushroom on the floor or something. Okay, almost done. Alright, the last thing I'm going to load on top, this is fresh cilantro. Yum. Also from the farmer's market, just a couple of sprigs. And again, you want to put your stuff on top that you don't necessarily want to get soaked in your salad dressing, because the last thing we're going to put in is we're going to pour in our salad dressing. Now, you don't have to pour your salad dressing in the jar if you don't want to. If you want to take it on the side in a separate jar, or if you have the luxury of a refrigerator at your office place where you can actually take your things and put them in the refrigerator and hope that nobody else eats them or drinks them, then you can take it separately. But I like to just have the convenience of having it all loaded in one jar, and we're done and we're out the door. So there's that. Now this is a homemade honey balsamic vinaigrette. It is olive oil, local honey, balsamic vinegar, and a little bit of lemon. And it does not need to be refrigerated, but you do need to shake it up because the oils will separate from the liquids. And sometimes the honey will settle. Now you want to pour, you don't want to overdo it, maybe just a couple of teaspoons. And you want it to kind of roll through everything that's in there, but you don't want it to stay. It's all going to go down to the bottom. And those tougher things that we put at the bottom, the kale, the tomatoes, the mushrooms, and the onions that we want to soak up this flavor, they're going to bathe in that balsamic vinegar and honey and olive oil all week long. And a lot of times I find that the salads that I eat on Thursday and Friday are probably the best ones because they have marinated all week long. But if you load them this way and you keep your softer things on top, I promise you, the one that you eat on Friday will be just as fresh as the one that you eat on Monday. And that's it. You've got salads in a jar.